Bang bang badang ding dang ding ding bang badang ding ding boom bang badang ding dang ding ding bang badang ding ding yes there's no need to worry, no need to finish. This is the platform where you can get informative, real intelligent, lift up the manners, raise the antennas, and get that sports divide. Facebook, Spotify, and Instagram. Don't forget to on the YouTube live. The positive content back to back. I'm invited all people to black. Yes, so we empower is black to black. And everybody invited. So share it and like it. From we all united and black to black. Yes, so we empower is black to black. And everybody invited. So share it and like it. From we all united and black to black. Yes. This is your mortal, invited each and everyone to the log on to all streaming platform, to the black, with your host, Andre and Karen. So subscribe, share, like and comment, and come along, let me enjoy the vibes.
Pass the book of history wide, eliminate the racial divide. Hey, Bunchy God in a GI. Yo, yo.
कैसे बनी फलोरी बिना चटनी कैसे बनी फलोरी बिना चटनी कैसे बनी
Yo, yo, yo. Who's Indian, who's Negro? And we ever did know that we was the best of friends. From the food we bring to the songs we sing, yeah, we bring the best of blends. Trinbago see all the Western trends. Our friendship couldn't separate by fence. The separation our elders did love, we leave that in the past tense.
It's where we come from, this is where we start. Even a child could feel it in their heart. No matter how you look or who you are, all of we come together. I want we tell them, कैसे बनी फलोरी बिना चटनी कैसे बनी फलोरी बिना चटनी कैसे बनी
As the anthem says, every creed and race for an equal place. Now hand in hand, let your hands then raise.
कैसे बनी
Every queen and king, if you cut your skin and you cut my skin, it's the same color blood flowing on like spring.
कैसे बनी
Yo, GI, many fall for the trick game. Separate group up, make you pick lane. And I one lane, them start the sick game. When they start inventing racial nickname. Subscribe to it, it now go bring fame. But it bring tears like rain and it bring pain. Wow, this thing mad and insane. Seem like they're missing a piece of them brain.
It's where we come from, this is where we start.
This is where we start.
Even a child could feel it in their heart. No matter how you look or who you are, all of we come together. And we tell them, कैसे बनी फलोरी बिना चटनी कैसे बनी फलोरी बिना चटनी कैसे बनी
As the anthem says, every creed and race for an equal place. Now hand in hand, let your hands then raise.
कैसे बनी
Every queen and king, if you cut your skin and you cut my skin, it's the same color blood flowing on like spring.
कैसे बनी
Bunchy Garland,
Yo brother, love every time.
GI, yo, yo. Racial differences, me don't know what the sense is. Hey,
Salute.
Greetings, black to black.
Black to black, we are black. What going on out there?
Welcome, black. Welcome, black.
And you know, I say that there, and I go back again to all the African people who have a problem with the term black now. And I'll tell them I like logic and everything I do, right?
Yeah.
So before we even dive into the topic, because this could be part of it too.
Yeah.
Trinity Unity, where we go look for it and do the same thing. Right? Mendoza. Do we accept that there is a thing called black? Do we accept that? And if we do accept it, can some of our people be likened to that in terms of appearance or the color? Yes. Only claim Kemet means land of the blacks. And only claim that Kemet is the name that the original people had give it so they liken themselves to that. I can't have no problem with that. I think we have too much of a problem. Because don't get me wrong, we's African. We's African. But I have no problem with the term black, and I see some people harping on it and be like.
No, but when you listen to it, I mean, it have a logic behind, because Mortal send me a whole set of stuff.
No, we's not a color.
I know, but Mortal send me a lot of stuff. Send me a lot of stuff to look at. With regards to the breakdown of the word, right? And I can't find that. I can't find that at all, because I fight in it right now and all in the shop. Sometimes I talk and thing, and I rather say African than black now, because when he send me them things, it make enough sense for me to say now.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I can't fight it because we done 2025 is how much thousands of years we saying it. You know, so I hear you, I agree, but I also understand where and why some people see it that way too.
I don't have a problem if we say we're moving away from all misnomers and say we only using it to African.
Of course.
I know no problem with that. But at the same time, I'm telling them and say, oh, dear, if it's so, then something wrong with what we just interpret the word Kemet to be, and all them same people who just say we's not black, we's African and all that, they still use the term Kemet.
Right.
But we here tonight, earlier, for something that we feel everybody. Okay, see, the first comment was necessary topic, right, from Ghost 21.
That is Osvaldo.
And they got a warm Osvaldo. Long time no see, brother. Right, so we see Mendoza come in class early today.
Yeah. Front and center.
Right, this is the silly season in Trinidad and Tobago. But it's not silly in terms of stupid. I tell them it's silly in terms of, just like with the American elections, it's truly show you some people who already is. Truly show you some people for what they really think and feel. I remember for the last elections, a woman I was working with, so pushing she place on them block she. Me, you know how it be for me to block somebody? Like, I don't have that energy. I talk about a nice woman. I talk about a woman that a man who is single and thing could be looking at like, and I not looking at the fact that, with different ethnicities or nothing. That's how nice she is.
Yeah.
When I see some of them posts on them on Facebook, I was like, I used to work next to you and you used to drop me home and thing, man.
Yeah.
You let me come in your vehicle and having a conversation with me from Shagonas to El Dorado.
And that's how you feel.
And that's what you're thinking, Mike. Like, yeah, man. No. So, what we see, and I must say, and it might sound a little biased, it's mostly from the East Indian side. What you will get is some of the Africans responded. I think we shouldn't respond, to be real honest.
Well, I'd big up man like Sule, because Sule went through a little ordeal here recently with this restaurant in Shagona, Savala, right? And plenty of people doing a lot of victim blaming, and I have a problem with that. Because everywhere people say, well, you like me in Shagonas for? What do you mean? So Shagonas is not part of Trinidad? Why are you supposed to be studying that?
First things first, I wasn't calling the name.
What, the restaurant?
Yeah.
No, I had to blast them.
But
I'm going to blast them.
Them people and them that are saying that, I sure is other African people who freed.
Yeah. Well, he told me the man basically racially abused him in the restaurant in front of everybody.
Yeah, I really post. And now, my attention span short. So I pass, he posted, right? Then I see somebody else have it, you share, right? Then I see you share. I said, nah, well, I'm going to read this thing. You understand? And when I read it, I'll be like, Mom, even before we go to the people who victim blaming, I was reading through the comments and like, well, we in real denial as people like, people so shocked. It's 2020, oh my gosh. They still I'm like, yo, you not bubble or something?
But we only 2 years off of COVID. 2 years, well 3. We went through that with Ramsaran in COVID. We went through that with Starlight. We went through that with Diane T-Shop. And people forget. I post a long list of black-owned restaurants and sport bars and things under Giselle comment to let somebody know, yo, these 10 to 15 places I call in here.
Black-owned.
Black-owned. And the place is nice. It's not no, but I say, you know what, it's not popular to be there.
That is, so this is my whole part of this argument. When you done, I go into that.
Right? And I had to remind people, I saying, but yes, election time is when it is escalate. Right? It is escalate and people is true colors is come out because they're distracted by this 2-horse political race. Right? And I have no issue with you backing a political party.
Get out street.
Right? But if in 2025, brother, we backing up a political party that let we know straight up and down that they are division and the way how they just make things sound, that the advertisements is black people eating grass, is everything, is all the murders and the killing is black people, and they're making it brazen. Right? Now, we have some licks to take there where that is concerned, and I'm not avoiding that. Yeah. Right? But your responsibility as the people who are applying for the work now
to fix it.
To fix the problem cannot be to use we as your political scapegoat or football, whatever they just call it. You understand? And
the thing that you're trying to gain mileage off.
Correct. Right? And you're correct. So this season I am very quiet. I'm not saying much. I'm not saying much on the socials. I'm watching, I'm listening.
We watched it in 2020. Remember, I tell them, because of these discussions, it is having swaggily studios. That during the daytime, Monday to Saturday, is swaggily Vanguard and Beauty and things. Because of the discussions we have here, that's certain things we wouldn't forget.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
But the average person, and sometimes they can vex with people because they go about their daily lives and what time to sit down and study that or remember that. But at a time like this, no, I want to hey, blessed day, Miguel. I want to comment on something. I want to say something, but I want to read out this comment. It doesn't unfair to blame the restaurant.
No.
Because the patron was racist. We agree.
I am not blaming the restaurant.
Right?
I'm simply stating where it happened and what happened. I am not saying the restaurant is wrong because the restaurant did put out their statement saying that they are going to be investigating it, and they followed it up by saying that they banned the patron. Right? We don't know how long we're going to be for. I had no time to investigate that. I'm not going to be stalking that place to find out whether or not it happened, yes or no. But what I will say though is that the fact that they reach out to the individual who was abused and said to him that the person is a repeat offender and has consistently abused the staff who are all black, then the restaurant has some lash to get. Because it is not the first time. You know about the fact that the man has been doing it. Your staff black. Right? And you know that he does be abusing them when he get drunk and what? It's not the first time. So what you basically telling me is you don't have a problem with it.
Right.
Because if he's still there, you have some licks to get.
You only take this action
because you get likes. That's right.
And it went viral.
Yeah, it went viral.
Right? Because when I reach up on it, it had like 400 and something shares. In Trinidad, there's plenty for something in Trinidad. Yeah. Right? But I want to say this based on something you say because that is my response, but I like how you phrase it. It's a real thing in Trinidad is be patronized. Well patronized because
of popularity.
Right? One of the best things I could point to for that is the carnival bands. Right? It are plenty of them. We know them frills and chills not necessary for you to have a good time. Because we had a good time without them.
Fuck.
We had a really good time without them, right? But it is
Big up
popular.
Eclipse. Big up Eclipse Mass.
Right?
Yeah.
It is very, very popular to say, I play with that nation day. You understand?
Yeah.
And you see that fine nation, we know what it is now. I play with them. It is popular, and Dr. Amos Wilson always say it's sad that, I'm paraphrasing, it's not the exact thing, but it's sad that we're the only people on this planet in order to showcase our freedom, our spending habits, to show that we're free and we can do what we want. Let's enrich everybody else. So you could do what you want to know. Your mission is not to come by me and buy dashiki from me. And only we didn't plan to wear dashiki tonight.
No, we didn't.
Right?
This is pure coincidence.
It's in to come by me and buy a jersey to Africa, you know?
Yeah.
And then post it and show your label and thing, and we can tell them and say, all that free advertising, let's get them white brands.
Yeah.
Your only way you can show you free as a proud African is to come with a white man name on your chest here, right?
Yeah.
So, there are certain people will find ways to blame the victim, as you say, simply because they want to continue patronizing places that we traditional oppressors and the people who are influential in money and business in the country running and this be and thing. You want to say it's good, but the reality is king half of them places and them don't be anyway. They might own it, they might have a stake in it.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't go in and be there.
No.
You understand? And that is something we suffer from badly. Why we patronize so much of these places.
Yeah.
Just because it's popular to do so. And you'll sound good. Yeah, boy. I went so. You understand? And that this will make some of this, that action they continue.
Of course. Of course.
Right? What more to say?
These same copper tone carbonated East Indians from India are considered undesirable, so it is a case of the pot calling the kettle black.
So, I'm telling you.
Speaking of which, I find the movie why Origin is in your mind.
Right.
Blair Underwood. What was this girl name again, boy? Forget her name, boy. She's a comedian too, but she acting a serious role. And it's a docu-movie. Okay. Right? And she went, her mother always tell her that she have East Indian origin, so she went to India.
Yeah, from here?
No. Movie, it's the movie, yeah. So, Origin is in the movie, it's a Netflix original. Well, if all you have Netflix, or you can take it in. I went and watch it because I started to watch it in the Shop King and...
Yeah.
Woo!
Hey, Akino, blessed night.
Hey, Akino, big up yourself, brother.
So, this is what we're saying now. Because so much of us is run from history. Yeah. We don't know shit. But there's attached with such... It have a certain kind of confidence, somebody who don't know nothing about something. I ain't saying they don't know nothing overall.
About a particular topic.
Yeah, boy. There is right now. So people who watch it and tell you they don't do the history and watching that. It is so much, boy. Like, and so some people can tell blatantly they don't do the history. Someone will go to them. I don't think about a long time now, the past and everything. Not accepting that all of that influencing today, right?
Of course.
Like, all that, if we know the circumstances under which African people came to Trinidad, so we can bypass that for now. But the East Indian people and them didn't come here. They didn't leave India because India was doing real good. No. They didn't leave India because India wasn't conquered. Just like certain parts of the majority of Africa was conquered. Like we don't try to sugarcoat it, no, we like really conquered. Fully taken over to the point where in certain parts of North Africa, look, them trying to convince you because there's so much of them in 1 or 2 countries, like Morocco, and them think that them is the original inhabitants. We're like, yo, you know what my proof that you use not? See that sun in the sky? And the weather that it have there? Yeah. You could tell them people and them. Yeah. And you from there, but you're not from there, right? Well, they didn't come here to Trinidad and Tobago to make Trinidad better. Well, they come here to make all their life better because all it wasn't faring too good over there. Under the same people that brought us here in chains. So some of the circumstances similar. And some of the outcomes similar, even though the circumstances was different. How we could stand up today to cuss one another way?
Yeah. Because they convinced them that they're better than we. Because in the caste system, the African is lower than the undesirables. The undesirables used to be already dead. You understand? And we beneath them, according to the Europeans. You understand? So we have to do the work. We have to, as I said just now, we had to learn the history. We had to be able to talk to it, because I notice a lot of these very East Indian people that commenting, King, watch now under some of them posts and them, boy. I watching the posts where they put out, I think CNC put out talking about the new oil find, right? That BP, whatever, breads. And these people have the audacity to say that they want that to fail, boy. Yeah. So here was my thing now. This is what has come out every political season, every election season, that has have me confused, right? How are you, the person who is advertising that you want this job, willing to destroy the very country that you're trying to rule, so that when you come in, you're going to rule in ruins? That's what you're trying to do?
And we had to assume that, because Sheldon says something here that a lot of older people they say, and I want to add something to that. He said the Africans held political power for almost all of our independence, so I don't see how Indians are the problem. None of us here ever said East Indians is the problem.
Yeah,
Orisha Lashe Ogelana Ogulade name Andre Kester Lovelace, but my mother have never said that East Indian people are the problem, or is a problem in Trinidad and Tobago. Right? What I was talking about just now is how we come here. My thing is, if we be real, at least what we just see on social media. Because I telling you, I will mute you fast or even block you. Even as an African, if I see a disrespecting Indian people a certain kind of way. And when I say a certain kind of way, a man just saying I don't like Indian people, that's not good enough for me, because I tell you, they're a white man telling me I don't like niggas at all, that don't be done. Right? Disrespecting as in the way it is go, that nasty kind of thing, and you're wishing death and all that. See that? I'm not into that at all. We can have political differences.
Yes.
As I was telling some friends on them yesterday. Right? Me and you don't agree on everything.
No.
We can have political differences. So you could be, and I have East Indian blood family. My daughter is struggling to comprehend why I telling she that this is grandpa big brother. But daddy, he's an Indian. You understand? So I'm struggling to put to her
context,
how, right? I want to make that clear as we sit down here talking on Black to Black, right? Because something that he said is something I just also say as well, which is there was a certain kind of blame that is want to be moved away from one political organization, but that one organization has been in quote-unquote power more than anybody since 1962, right? So I want to make that real clear. And I'm like, no, Indian is problem and Africa, no, I'm not blaming no Indians for nothing. What I am saying...
I don't know how we arrive at that.
Right? And I want to comment. What I am saying is that some of the nasty comments that we're seeing about African people in Trinidad and Tobago have been from East Indian people. And it was brought to a head last election. That cannot be denied. We could go and get all the receipts on them for that.
You know, the internet, don't forget.
Right? I'm saying is, the reason why this is such a heavy topic for us is like, yo, we have to live here, the 29th, the election is the 28th, right? The 29th, we still have to go out there and go to work, go and jump in a taxi, order goods, whatever, and start to interact, you know. And there's the same thing I said in 2020. I can't believe that 5 years later, when we're supposed to be more intelligent as a nation, we're going through this like, and we have to talk about it.
Exactly. We
don't know the station on the promenade and the one on Marvel Road and things. There are certain things, topics they will not touch. Right? We really try to dress up things here in Trinidad. The news, the so-called news, will try to make you feel everything nice and dandy. But we have a real problem, especially when it comes to these kind of things here. And then after that now, you're going and go back inside now. But you don't show me your true self already.
Yeah, what I want to ask, right? Because you see when they start to put words in my mouth, I just get cross. Right? The same party you're talking about with regards to being in power for so long has done more, and you could try to refute this how much you want, has done more for the East Indian community and everybody else than their own people, the supposed black people, right? That is undeniable, it is undisputable. You understand? So, who gave them all the land after Caroni and whatever? It was not real, it wasn't Pandy. Right? When they closed down Rienzi, and not Rienzi, when they closed down the rice fields and all them kind of thing, and indentureship was completed. Who was responsible for that? You understand? So the quarrel here is not about political party.
I don't want to go there, I'm going to tell you why I don't want to go there. Because I don't want it to come down to
the forces.
Them versus us, nor what the African do and what the Indian do.
Yeah.
I simply saying is that where's the exact title today? The title of the program today?
Oh, racism in politics.
Right. That cannot be denied, yo.
Yeah.
That cannot be denied. And I mean, we here in a day like 2020, I jump in a taxi, see our address similar to this. I jump in a taxi in Elsicro. The driver and the man in the front seat talking. And like, Ian looked to see exactly who come in now. And talking about, them niggas and them, they just hardly come out and vote. So we that's certain thing we know we go in for sure.
For sure, yeah. Yeah.
Say a word, maybe come out, no nothing.
Hey, Miguel, I did with you, but you need to come out to that Douglas brand, you're going to make money.
When the man pulling off now and looking to ask who you and see me, people, everything change. You understand? Everything now.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm talking about here. This is what this topic is today for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if probably the title maybe make them feel we want to talk about the politicians. I don't care.
No, we don't care about that.
On that level, I don't care what them call. I don't know. It's a certain costume party for them.
Yeah.
Look at how much religious holidays we had in the last few days, and they see them in everything. Right? Right. I talk about us.
Yeah.
I talk about us, how we have to deal. You know, I tell you, in 2020, I had us put the woman in she place and block she. Yeah. Nice woman.
And I think everybody have a story like that on social media.
You understand what I'm saying there?
And it's never the other way.
No,
listen, I have tons of East Indian friends and tons of East Indian clients.
Right.
Right? And every election, it has been the same thing. Me and them, I just always tell them, boy, I just had to ask them, how come when this time reach, it just gets so sticky and none of them could answer me? None of them could answer me.
Well, look, Mortis, Miguel, I come to you just now. Mortel says something, right? And it's so true. The classification, that casting system was so heavily pushed.
Shits them.
That it have them feeling like they were time.
Of course.
When they hear, because they said that one of our former prime ministers left here to go to his motherland as a prime minister and reach there and get put in place quicker. Here he's a prime minister.
Oh, they had to kiss the foot.
Oh,
but it happened to she too.
You understand?
It happened to she too. Them come here trying to sell people that them is Brahmin and them is not no Brahmin.
Right. But again, so when you touch down here now,
you have a clean slate.
You understand? That's why I tell people something I just make sure, and it came up yesterday again. I just make sure and tell my daughter this. My daughter is get this every morning. What are you? I am an African goddess. What are you? I am an African goddess. You know why I question my daughter here? Are you better than anybody? No. Is anybody better than you? No. You understand? I tell her you are not better because I don't want, while I telling you you're a goddess and you're not hearing much people referring to themselves as goddess, I don't ever want to creep in any way that you're better than anybody for you to start to act that kind of way now. Right? And then I will stand up outside her school and she see me and what she and the Indian girls and the Chinese, because I want to Chinese girls.
Yeah.
All of them playing. You understand? So I know. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Even for half of them who might call me racial, I know I'm doing something right.
Yeah.
Because every day my daughter here, she's an African goddess, and she knows she have an East Indian friend. Ask me what she best friend now. Right?
The girl from next door. After the skating ring.
She playing with Chinese people and all that. It don't matter to them.
No. But I proved that too. I remember we went for ice cream in Movie Town, right? And we sit down outside by the fountain, by the chairs and thing, and a Chinese family come and sit down next to me, right? So, them days, Amari is Genesis age.
Right.
4, 5, right? Still smally thing, whatever. So, he now see the child behind him, and he lock onto that child. And the two of them eye lock, and boom, the two of them get up and start to play together, but you could see the discomfort on the child's face. Right? Now, I'm not saying nothing because I have no problem with it. And I allow my son to get up and play with the child and whatever. That's the fastest I ever see them finish the ice cream. Quick is the word, brother. This. Go on. And Amari, look, you could have see the disappointment on him because, you know, he like, why they go on, daddy?
My father was saying,
Yeah.
And I prove it because my ancestor had a say if you want to see unity, go in a nursery.
Yeah. It is taught, racism is taught.
Right. So Miguel, Miguel is one. It have a.
It'll be a good one for you to have tonight.
It have a.
But you need
somebody I used to listen to.
Yeah.
And he used to say that's why he do condone mixing of the races. He said because whether we could accept it or not, there's about a good few mixed race people who confused. They don't know where to go now.
Yeah. But Neil tell me that, remember when we had Neil on?
Right. You see, right? Yeah, he's
the one.
Right?
Yeah.
And have a good few places have people confused. We don't like to talk about it. Because we try to talk about love.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Somewhere the other, I never see white people on none of the white stations talk about love and it means mixing the seed. When you say white people don't love some black people and get involved with black people, I'm saying we see these people is talking out like that, trying to convince ourselves and others. Right? Because I agree with one of them now, the most revolutionary thing a black man could do is find a black woman, marry a black woman, and have a black family. So let me put it for the people in the group thing, the most revolutionary thing an African man can do is find an African woman, marry an African woman, have an African family. And I agree with that totally.
Yeah. That is why I love the clip with the woman on the subway who say bring back segregation.
Yeah, them afraid that talk. You know why they're afraid that talk? Because we say that's not about popularity.
Yeah.
Popularity and comfort. But tell you something I write years ago. I don't know how to copyright and them kind of things. So I just have to point out when they see it and they get big and things, I say, comfort, the number one killer of revolutions and revolutionary minds.
Jersey.
You know what I'm saying?
Jersey.
Comfort, because along with that popularity.
And they got 868 is the code, eh? Whenever you get a chance.
Along with the popularity, comfort is the next thing too. We want to go by them restaurants. So it's popular and it's nice and thing. I be like, yo, I go and eat. I just look at this. I don't know if it's because I so plain. Like, you can't sell me the place is nice and anything, and I go and eat the first things first I want to see it clean. And then I'll tell you. And we just make the silliest is set an excuse as to why we don't support you.
Yeah.
While other ethnicities, they say, they'll hit them same excuse, you know, and then they'll tell you, but we're still going. You understand? I don't like African clothes, but I was still right. Whereas we've seen that, right? And again, we go back to, it wouldn't be everybody saying these things and doing these things, but we could only talk from the perspective that we see, which is from our side. I deal with that like, but I would like this to be a stranger. I don't want to be somebody, you know. I would love to be able to have an open, honest conversation with an East Indian person who looking at the politics and all that kind of thing too. And hear how they see us in terms of how we as African people promote, like, you know, the party we support, the politics we support, the policies that we support. And to see if they see it as nasty and racist, the way we see some of them things.
I'm going to tell you who is the best, who I feel would have been the best person for that. I see that fellow who I tell you is, they meet me a couple of times from Night Street.
Yeah.
He has had a conversation with me in this shop that rocked me to the core. Because it's the first time I've ever heard an East Indian talk like that. Right? You know his last name is Nigerian, right? Inaitula.
Okay.
Nigerian. He tell me that, but he know with his own mouth. He grew up with Junior and all of them. In Bartara, so he know Rambo, he know Yellows, he know all of them. All of them grew up together. You sell lime on the corner by 10 Street.
Right.
Before the place get how it is. Right? And he tell me for himself, he say, Karen, you know what's the hardest part for me, boy? He say, my children go in George's. He say, I grew up in Bartara, which is cosmopolitan, mixed, Chinese, and everybody in the area and that kind of thing. He say, and it does bother me sometimes how my own people this react and treat African people. He never say black, he never say Negro, African people. Right? And we had a conversation about, we was talking about the crime thing. And he was talking about, which is what we always say, you know, it's real unfortunate that the predominant race that is killing is black. Yeah. Right? But he also said that there is a side of that people don't see, which is the men who washing money for bad man, and plenty of them is that, right? So it's like, because the black men killing, that is the only type of crime we see.
Yeah.
We ain't seeing nothing else. You understand? We're not seeing the white collar, blue collar crime that them create.
That fueling everything else.
That fueling everything else. You understand what I'm saying? And when this fella, you see him? Dr. Uma talk about Trinidad, and he spoke about the drugs coming in the cars and all that kind of thing, and that fella from Shogunas get upset. And I was like, but how you could get upset when that is public knowledge? You understand? That is public knowledge that real people get catch with it.
So this is the thing with all of that, is that the easiest thing to blame, especially if you're not involved in it, is the other ethnicity, right?
Yeah.
On top of that, now the other ethnicity is the face of violent crime. Most of us can't see past violent crime because it's violent crime. I mean, when you're seeing people on a camera footage gunning down somebody and things, it's real hard for you to focus on money laundering. Most of we don't understand what is money laundering. I still don't totally understand what is money laundering, if I'm being honest. Very hard for me to focus on that when you are shooting 4 streets away from where you live in, somewhere where you and your child just walk every day.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
That is what it is. And then on top of that, now we don't own any media.
So
and we don't put any demands on our media. So all of that is in our face every day. That's why I will say it over and over. I stopped bought papers when it hit me, like, you telling me nothing positive to happen in this place, boy. That only the murders and political drama is be on the front page. Yeah, I stopped. Right? The quote, I think it's Amos Wilson had a quote like that. I don't know when those are, right? The quote, the law-abiding citizen is the biggest threat to the revolution. He did say, what? Church folk and, I think it's law-abiding folk is the biggest threat to, right? He said, Mendoza said the only African party was NJAC, and black people never, you should have put that never in capital letters. Because even up to today, the kind of shockiness I say people say about what they think NJAC was or is, right? But I'll say this same thing to NJAC too. The same thing as tell Emancipation Support Committee, I tell them, or they never highlight the things all they do, because NJAC did a lot. At certain places in the world, NJAC helped them start certain things similar to what we do here. Right? But we never really hear that. No way. I only get that because I know Babu, and Babu give me a book on some of the achievements. Like, what?
Yeah, but sir?
No, you get me to read and bring my faith.
Oh.
Yeah, that's how I say it.
Yeah.
Right? But we could probably reach out to him and bring him on. No?
Yeah,
we could do that. We could do that. Right? It is very, very hard for us. So that's what I'm saying. And we could still look at it in the future because there's not the last election. We're ready for the dictatorship. Because we was having a discussion this week here. And you know, you might want to agree with it. But is it true that certain things that happen cannot happen under what we just call a democracy? Because our democracy does not include everybody that can say what they want. When a dictator put things in place, right? Yeah, it's for everybody. You understand? Because you have no country in the earth where 100% of the population is only people who was originally from there.
Right.
Not no country on the earth. So when you was living in Libya, most of the people in them is a mix of descendants of invaders, descendants of the original people who go there because while Western media would make it look like an undesirable place, it had other places where people just leave it and go into there. So when he had 4% of the population alone paying rent, you was benefited from that too, even though you're saying, oh, he's a dictator. You understand? When gas price was a certain thing, you wasn't going by the pump and paying more because you don't like he had a dictator, you was paying the same price. But democracy don't work so fair. Democracy don't work so. Democracy is I didn't vote for that. I don't like your policies at all. That next thing we do here, you say you went up and look at how one manifesto is right?
It's not on. The last manifesto was 2000.
Mendoza, Miguel, Aquino. Well, I ain't gonna call Mortel because Mortel in here. Well, Mendoza in here either. How much people who hear any advertisements as we go through with day? That word manifesto, I have not heard that word yet for the election. You hear what I'm saying to you? I have not heard the word manifesto used yet for this election.
Yeah.
Right? And so what I'll say, social engineering has blinded some people from truly finding themselves in this day and age, not knowing that we all are the essence of all that is all right. But Mortal, as years now, I'm telling other people this. I don't think me and you ever had this discussion. It has some people, you see that way, you know, you can't reach them. It just has certain information. Mortal and Mendoza, to remember that them studying for so long, it has certain things second nature. Right? Like breathing. But it has certain things you can't go and tell a man who believe that this way of politics is the only way and it's working. You can't go and tell him about communism. Remember he watching NNC and CBB all the time that telling you them dictators and them dictators and them, they never tell you what the dictators do. Like what going on in Burkina Faso. The Western powerhouse media wouldn't tell you what he doing. They would only tell you he's a dictator. Right.
And I strongly believe that's what we need here, but you know, I mean.
Right, so Mortel say we got more in common than uncommon, true. But some of the things that we do have in common makes the gap very, very big. Let we establish that. Right? All are we breathing is the air, but all are we thought processing the same. Because I tell people who you is as a so-called human being, I don't believe all of we humans, like get out great. That you go in and sit down, you hire people to sit down and build things like atomic bomb or chemical bombs. And when you drop it in a village, people's skin falling off and things. Right? We is not the same. Because I thinking, boy, if I would $400 billion, at least the place I from had to be poverty had to be eradicated. Because my $400 billion is not going down just because I'm doing that, no, because I'm still in businesses that, right? And even if I'm trying to do the world poverty thing, the place where I'm from, which is in this instance Trinidad and Tobago, we might have to build 50-foot walls by around the whole island because people who want to come in. Because we got $400 billion thing. Breads, when I hear them break down what is $1 billion, you take a lifetime trying to pick up $1 billion and to put it in $1. You're not going to live long. We expected life expand. It's not long enough to try and pick up. You're walking and just picking up another life. Every step you make, you pick up another. Your lifespan is not long enough to pick up $1 billion.
Yeah, there's 1,000 million, there's a lot.
And you have people in this world worth 100 billion and 200 billion. So I don't believe we're the same at all. But them same people now jump into the same thing we talking about that they call politics. How much time you hear me say I don't trust wealthy people in politics?
Yeah, because they're not there to
I do not trust it at all.
Yeah.
So what's his name? Mendoza bring up and Jack. Them was not money.
No. And that's why they didn't get no.
But the programming was already in effect with the two-party system. You understand? Think what people say, they want to be the way that she like. But you know that's one of the things that the man in Burkina Faso do. He take away all them uniforms like what we just say insurance, but you have to go to school in African clothes. So what we're gonna have now? Now we have to make sure that we textile industry update. The seamstress going to start back to make more money. The tailor going to start back to make more money because it's not just sewing nothing, it's going to be altercation, it's going to be fixing.
Yeah. But it is true politics that industries just get wealthy. The prison industry, check it. If it wasn't for them, amalgamated and the people who driving up and down the bus who transporting prisoners, them would not be making no money. All them camera thing is crime.
Yeah, boy.
You understand? Crime is the heart of that. So that is the industry that is funded right so that all them other industries could boom. The gun industry, the protective wear, protective gear, all them thing is what driving off of that. And anytime the same thing with the marijuana, if it is you feel them just so decided go and decriminalize that, them sit down at a meeting because I have a 10 acres in Grenada or wherever Vinci that done plant and go yield in about 2 years. So all they need to get our shit together so that when we ready, we could bring down that weed.
But I tell them, even if they say they find a marijuana field in the ocean Trinidad, right? They just how I look at it, right? And they claim that we have, I don't smoke, so I don't know, we have some of the best weed here. And you find our weed, our field with 10,000 trees, fully grown. And we are signatory to treaties with places like Canada and America. Especially Canada, we have so much legal thing for it, right? Weed shops and things. Why are we burning down that, boy?
That's supposed to be exporting like foreign currency.
You telling me that it would $20 million.
But how we go export that when anyway? That's another conspiracy theory that we ain't going to go into tonight.
Right? But
Auntie Mommy, good night.
Mommy, good night, Mommy. Mendoza say I have not heard it either, but I have the copy of the UNC manifesto.
That is not public, my brother. I don't know when it come out, but the manifesto for UNC is not available anywhere. If you have it, well, we know you just work with them, so that you might get a copy through that. But the PNM manifesto is not available. Where's the young girl name? Patriotic Front is not available. UNC is not available. You could Google it. It is not there. Not on their website. It is not anywhere. And if it come out, it's not there yet neither.
But here it now. But just for the fact that we could be having this conversation, even if somebody could send me to the manifestos now.
Yeah.
You hear Mendoza say he and I have not heard them use the word manifesto.
Yeah, nobody uses it.
Because why? Because the Kakahori is to focus on talk about Karen, talk about Orisha Lashe, talk about what he had about here. What if France that had to do with the government of the country? You understand?
Mudslinging.
It's 4 years now, yeah. Where you going back with all this here on the head? What that had to do with you, and this is why I tell them, boy, well, they can't come by me.
Yeah.
Because if they come in front of my gate, the first thing I tell them there, in the most respectful way, the value of my vote is a house. I want to watch the camera and say that the value of my vote is a house. I don't want you to give me a house that I am not going to pay for. I will be paying whatever is the installment per month for the house. I'm just wanting to avoid the bureaucratic red tape and the footballing where you pass me to this department, then you pass me there, and when you catch yourself, it's 20 years past and I'm an old man.
Yeah.
No, I want a house now for me and my child that I'll be paying for. So the value of my vote is a house, a home for me and my child. Yeah.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
Say, you're looking 35 Peter 1970. Motel. I do think I would love nothing better. Right? But I think we mindset go on way off of that, boy. The only beautiful thing is that it have a lot of young people asking certain questions.
Well, I hear youth man on the radio talk the other day, independent. He going up as an independent. I don't know for who.
He's independent
himself, right? And he say he is yet to hear any of the parties talk to youth development and what their plan is for the youths. And they want to know why it is the youths and they're not interested in voting because the children and the people and them they're not seeing
themselves.
Correct.
Right? And all they can't come and say, look at how much young people we have in the party.
Hopeless.
I'm going to tell you why you can't come and sell us that none of the political entities, because even though you have young people in age, they're still not connected to what is happening. You understand? One of the things I really want to change, boy, I'm going to tell you why I really want to change the way. Especially seeing how they raise all the salaries there. An MP supposed to be in office 5 days a week. Well, 4 days a week because Friday is Parliament.
Yeah.
But the MPs and your MP office supposed to be open 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Or you go say that like, yo, but that's the job you campaign for. You in campaign to be an MP Monday to Friday, you know.
Well, that's what some of them believe, eh?
Right? This is a full-time job for 5 years.
Yeah.
And right now you're well compensated. You're well compensated.
Especially now.
Right? That's it. Right now you're right. So you see that thing where you can't see an MP, you only see an MP 1 day for 2 hours and 50 people come and only 4 people get to see the MP. Some people by the MP office 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. What? Then you're going for a visa hour. And you don't even want to do it for the visa office again, eh? No, it's appointment.
Don't know.
You understand? You see that? I have a real problem with that. Right? But what we wanted to just state on the show is that on the 29th of April, we still have to get up and live here and work here and interact here and do things together here. And
that has been the irritating part about post-election for me. Because plenty of all they're going to want the same people all they're calling nigger and whatever all the terms are.
I know, I want to say this, that it would probably have the reverse side of it too, so we're talking to them too.
Of course.
Them who go watch the East Indians and call them all kind of derogatory names.
Yes.
You understand?
Yeah.
All that we have to live, I'm not trying to live in a place where I can't go and get others who are routine. I'm not trying to live in a place where because we abuse certain East Indian businesses, they don't want to sell we again, you know. No.
I not tiptoeing.
We're not tiptoeing.
I not tiptoeing, and I know that behavior is predominantly East Indian.
Of course.
Right? And it is what it is.
So that's what I say. Hear what I say.
It might have a percentage of we that does do it. But brother, I have not
seen that from on this side now.
Yeah.
But that's why I say it would be nice to have an East Indian who could have tell us how it is look, how he social media or she social media does look at this time. Because we know we could talk for we. And we know that the algorithms will show us.
Right, but King, here what I'm saying to you. Just how the lottery is a numbers game, everything in life is a numbers game, right? For all the posts that we've seen, when Angostura gave the money to the children from Lafontaine, and you went underneath it, the most disgusting
that before election
was way before election. This is 2 years ago.
Right.
Not 2 years ago, last year, sorry. 2024, right? The beginning of September 2024, Angostura gave money to the schools, to the children that perform well in the primary schools in Lafontaine. When you go under the posts, some of them talking about, so what happened, Angostura do support children from Kuvan, Kurupia and all them place? And people have to ask them, but Angostura is in Lafontaine. So they helping with it from. So somebody asked, so how come Atlantic don't send money up here? You understand?
If you want to be so petty.
If you want to be petty.
That is the shit of it.
Yeah.
If you want to be so petty.
But it don't ever reverse.
That's not if you want to be so petty, right? Where Petrochinas?
Point 14.
No.
Point up here, sorry, yeah.
That's a predominantly one.
East Indian.
So we supposed to look to them, they say, no, I don't have that. as opposed to say we're glad that they're helping out in the community and things, we're supposed to say they should be spending money all along and kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like that, the pettiness of that I can't deal with, boy. I want to say something more to say because
Miguel, I want to touch Miguel's point too.
Ali Mani, there's real talk this. Till I started to listen to him before he passed. He said Dr. Morgan Joe Woods and prophecies come to pass, yet they abuse him. They hate Morgan Joe Woods. That's the things he did see about us and the things that we were supporting.
He write a book, Kent?
Yeah, one-on-one. Right?
I think
where would that lead us? And we're going to look at that today. Right? Where's going to
Miguel say that we think is trouble, but in that same breath, why we have CPEP and yet still have full prisons, no disrespect to CPEP. Now, somebody was explaining to me just this weekend that the purpose of CPEP was supposed to be rehabilitation for prisoners.
Okay.
And it turned into gang, cleaning road and whatever. It turned into people of the lower echelon. That is where they start to get work. And it was not supposed to be permanent neither. What CPEP was supposed to be was a stepping stone for you to get back into society. You come in, you work for a year, you rehabilitate, and we train you to get back into the society, right? To reintegrate. So that you don't have a problem sticking out. You're not sticking out and you're not looking like a criminal kind of thing. That is what CPEP was supposed to be. But it turned into a career. My brain fried. And as Eric Williams started that shit. Right? And it was originally URP, and then it evolved into what this is now.
Boy.
Yeah?
So, something...
Has a book called Race that addresses
now before
these
that, you say, right, so you say the parties only officially registered candidates yesterday and the UNC only officially launched today. The manifesto will be made public after. So let me see. But what I'm saying now is, even though it's not public on the site, not one of these organizations talk about the manifesto and what they plan to do going forward.
Yeah.
That is what I'm talking about now.
Yeah. What I'll say, if only we learn how to self-govern ourselves using our skills, we don't need their governance. I talked that on this already, on the program already. However, we have to hold these representative tribes accountable. I know it's thieves they mean to say it, but yeah.
Right?
Mendoza say, I honestly think voting should be a thing of the past and a new way of leadership invented.
That is a hell of a... You understand?
Utopian.
Morgan Joe has a book called Race that addresses the issues, okay?
Yeah.
Right, but no matter what we do, boy, like I be saying now when you, as I say, you are East Indian customers, plenty of we just deal with, and we can't let what these people doing in the positions that they're at
destroy that.
Make us mash up the vibes that we have.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah. Because
at the end of the day, them still eating and drinking and doing what they have to do.
Correct.
You ever see the diplomatic center? With the Prime Minister, yeah. Come on, man. Come on, man. You understand? Feel them care about me and you, honestly, boy.
Yeah, they don't.
Them don't. Breads, when a man could watch you and say about a raise gas prices, as a man who in politics for so long that know that once the gas raise, everything else raise. When a man could do that, say that twice and laugh, ha 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 ha. You really think he care about me? I don't. You understand? So the fact of the matter is, no matter what has happened on the 29th of April, no matter who is getting sworn in, I have to go to work.
That what Mary say.
I have to come out here and explain to a man why it is necessary to sell a t-shirt mark African King on it. I still do that. Because nobody, them in Magical, you're going to wake up and realize, hey, there is it, boy, thing. You understand? You still have to come and cut. You still going to look at your appointment, click, 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 right, your thing.
Yeah.
And you understand?
Correct.
We still have to do that.
Yeah. And the same people that you're calling all kind of derogatory terms, you want them to come and support your business. You understand? You want them because like
not that you want.
You need.
You need.
You understand?
You understand? Realistically speaking, when I started to deal with this so-called black conscious, African conscious thing, one of the things I want to do real bad is initiate and lead a nationwide weekend boycott. Just for one weekend, boycott all the supermarkets. All.
Even black one?
Even black one. But where I get from the same suppliers. Most of the time.
Right.
Because the idea behind that is, well, even though we didn't buy any grocery, the people who go to still that they get paid. The light bill, everything for that day, still that everything, the phone, water, gas, all the deliveries, everything. Things still that they get paid.
Yeah.
That weekend money.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
You understand? We prep ourselves and because for all the people that clamoring for a raise in pay, I'm not sure how effective that is. Because when them raise the pay and food prices are still the same and we have no control over the food prices. When we raise we pay Thursday, Monday when we go in the grocery and we get the money Monday in the bank. All the things in them raising wipe out all the money we just get in extra. So I just tell them, I say, never hear me talking about our pay raise just so it have other things that had to happen to work in conjunction with our pay raise, otherwise it don't make no sense. Right? So all the
you gotta say, I spoke in a forum, I said I would like to fire both sides of both parties. Everybody, get young persons in our society to come to the fore and run the country.
Miguel look running like a dog. I'm telling you, that is crazy. Because we saw fire them like you hearing somebody. When you could hear somebody say, I'll never forget I hearing that own audio.
Seriously, it?
Yeah, I agree with that totally. Yeah. Totally. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, forget and finish where I was going to say that Sunday.
Right?
Oh God. Finish what you're saying now, brother.
What does that say?
Exactly. You see what I'm saying, boy?
That's not.
You're talking about the boycott.
No, but it had a right, so the raise and this kind of thing that we fighting for a raise and we realizing that every time it come like the popularity, anything like that you only concern getting a raise. So you're gonna see your custom getting 4,000, you're seeing 45 or 5. Yeah. But you ain't looking at everything raised 2 days later and wiping out that extra $500 or $1,000 again. They see that?
Yeah.
I ain't into that again, but because I want to be able to do something with the extra money. And so long as we ain't no kind of saying with food and them kind of thing, the price structure and them kind of thing, it's not going to make no kind of sense at all. And I know that it is not totally on the politicians or the government. That is why I bring up that, because a big part of that is we. It's how we don't do it, as we was talking today. You know, I hate to agree with him. But I mean, when you see the things that we just go up on and spend all that kind of money on, you know?
Yeah.
We don't even have a buy local campaign here. Yeah, we brothers and them in Jamaica kicking up because they find out so much of things coming from Trinidad.
Yeah.
No,
and they stop buying a lot of them
comfortable. So none of them ain't gonna buy local campaign. But they take up steam now. They want to come back to home base.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, we're working on that, Miguel. Don't worry.
What is that?
You say you need to be able to call him. So, more tell you, see that way saying that, yeah, my father say that and mash up a group of people, you know. He say if a pianist is somebody proficient in the piano, and you call them the good because there's a pianist and they know how to play the piano good. And same thing with that violence. He said, well, if I was a racist, that means I good for my race, so I good at that. Right? Or so.
Something else.
Yeah, the prejudice, that, and I keep telling them what is the difference between racism and prejudice. Right? Racism is a system. Most of it don't have nothing to do with it. Prejudice is the real thing now.
Yeah.
Right? But as we say, the more life and good health, just keep in mind that all the things that they come to try and sell you in the next couple of weeks, no matter how good it sounds or whatever, don't let it divide you from the rest of your people.
Please.
You understand?
Because we have to live after.
We have to live after, right?
Tell my brothers and them that when my father was dying, I say, when the man gone, we had to live, you know. They didn't listen to me.
That is not. Miguel is my brother. You understand? I tell him in the school group, you know. I say, hey, my told me come a voice going up with certain things, because, you know, men support a political organization that I mightn't support.
Yeah.
So you telling me you don't want to have this discussion because I don't like your organization. I say, imagine if the top of that organization is to act like that. Then we would not, the organization would not exist. We have to be able to have these discussions as friends, as family, and then drink a beer after, or drink a more beer after, go and eat a doubles after. And that's what I'm saying, go and get a cheese pie. We have to be able to do that. That will help ease the tension in the country as well.
Yeah.
Because right now, and for the next couple of weeks, the place is going to be real tense.
It done tense already.
You understand?
And you see that wheat, they don't even, and it going further than the whole derogatory term. You see that is we time coming thing. I can't. Who is the we?
Who is it?
Who is the we you're talking about? You understand? So that's why I say you never hear when yellow was in power and it was coming out. No African never says we time. I never hear it. I could be wrong, but
Eden and Twine best at night. Motel we go on. I mean motel.
My brother, relax yourself now. The song you have my.
We linking up that you're safe in here. It's black to black.
You're bullying me out. Don't let me queue at the front, you know.
Hey, no boy, we here at Black to Black do not tolerate cyberbullying.
Yeah, take your time.
You're safe. You're safe. It's black to black, you know. And tell people Mendoza is a real talk and laugh and tell them that Mendoza was one of the people I find on Facebook that I feel like I find my tribe, you know. Yeah. Because at that time when I post something, Mendoza is the only person commenting or relating to it, and everybody burning my out. Me didn't business at all, and it get worse now. You understand? So you safe, my brother?
Yeah, I'm about to pick with you now, Mendoza. I see you sharing up certain men podcasts and things, and we don't get no share, brother.
Okay.
We don't get no share, brother. But we ain't saying what we to say, so you ain't sharing we.
Okay.
Alright, okay. You only sharing the episodes with you, but I not seen. Love in the house still.
Well, if you had to only share the episodes that you share it every day. You know, I like to meet halfway now. Right? Other races don't have to love my race, however. Yeah, and that's motel, we had to give them something to respect, and I'm closing with that. 2 instances in my life, I had to deal with one was an organization and one was actual individuals who other African people are telling me they're racist and they're racial and things, right? And I never experienced that from them. And it come down to me realizing the way I just dress, the way I care about myself and everything, I give them something to respect now. They don't have a choice. You know, not that I give something to any man, go respect me now. You have to respect me. I'm not coming to you as the average little African boy, pants down by his knee. I ain't saying you're not supposed to not respect somebody because of how they dress, you know. I'm just saying there's a stigma attached to that. Right. Whether it's true or not is a whole other episode. Yeah. Right? When I come in there as an unapologetic, proud African that respects you. Because you ain't doing nothing as yet to make me tell you the dirty stinking so and so. Because don't feel you can't get it with all the African thing and all that kind of thing, and you will still get it. Right? But you would be calling for it. Yeah. And up to this day, we literally try not to stand up outside because you're and I go in, and then when them come in, the whole vibe of the place change. I say, because it's all this move and operate and dress a certain way. You understand? Some of the stigma's not right. But if we seeing that stigma and seeing people moving and acting out a certain way, based on that, it's now up to us with the intelligent self to fix it. Correct. How them convince you to wear your pants quite on there? Who convinced you of that? Breads, I see men who live in a certain lifestyle and want to tell me, oh, that don't matter. But when our next man who them in no coming up, you dress just like them, everybody stand up and watch you.
Ready to do.
You understand?
Ready to do.
We have to give them something to respect. So that's why Mortal agree with what you said. Right? So, more life in good health, people. Love is an action word, support is an action word.
Yeah.
And in this time, we have to live that love. So nobody can tell you about it. All that we know how to do it, it's not something we have to try.
No.
All that we know how to do it, yeah. So all your more life and good health, be safe on the roads until we meet again. Brother.
String unity is what we need. We must come together if we want to proceed. String unity is what we need. We must come together if we want to succeed. Except the Indian people with Africa, Indian dating with Antarctica, African beauty with Adinkra. Talk, talk. Indian people with Africa, Indian dating with Antarctica, African beauty with Adinkra. Talk. Full time now, Trinidad come together. African and Indian loving each other. She's your sister, he's your brother. One family under the Trinidad banner. Red, white and black, we don't see no other color. Together we achieve and together we aspire. We all must believe if you want to do better. Truth of the matter, we need one another. Indian people with Africa, Indian dating with Antarctica, African beauty with Adinkra. Talk. Indian people with Africa, Indian dating with Antarctica, African beauty with Adinkra. Talk. We came on different ships and at different times, with differences but not different minds. The difference is one was left behind because he chose to defend himself against crime. One was indentured, one was enslaved. We survived the plight and now we stand brave. It was a tough fight but now we are safe. It's time to unite and stop misbehave. Indian people with Africa, Indian dating with Antarctica, African beauty with Adinkra. Talk. Indian people with Africa, Indian dating with Antarctica, African beauty with Adinkra. Talk. Oh, well, my Trinbago. Oh, well, let your love show. Oh, well, sweet Trinbago. Oh, well, come on and let's go. String unity is what we need. Together we aspire, together we achieve. String unity is what we need. We must work together if we want to proceed. String unity is what we need. Together we aspire, together we achieve. String unity is what we need. We must work together if we want to succeed. Except the Indian people with Africa, Indian dating with Antarctica, African beauty with Adinkra. Talk. Indian people with Africa, Indian dating with Antarctica, African beauty with Adinkra. Talk. So let's check it. Tell me if you get it. Hands in the air if you know you accept it. Show that you care and you would not regret it. Join hands now and let us project it. We ancestors looking all proud. African and Indian all in one crowd. That's what Trinidad and Tobago is about. Trin unity, just shout it out loud. Oh, hey, oh, my Trinbago. Oh, hey, oh, let your love show. Oh, hey, oh, sweet Trinbago. Oh, hey, oh, come on and let's go.
Black to Black with Kieron and Orisha Lachey.